really like an incredible message about hope, and I mean, not just hoping for hope, but the actual what happens when you have nothing left, when you feel like you are at the lowest, and in this sense, you know you're going to die. Like, what is the next choice? What do you look to help you make a drastic decision, like cutting your arm off, your entire arm off with a, you know, the not so sharp knife? And for him, it was the premonition of his son and thinking about a family and, you know, having a total trajectory shift in his life. So to me, it's really a story about personal growth and change, and, you know, the arm is really a metaphor for anything that happens in our life that's holding us back.
Usually independent films are, you know, you're surrounded by people that are dying to make the film for whatever reason, and you're all in it for the same, you're not in it for any sort of money, because there is no money to make. And it's just all about the passion.
Welcome to the world premiere of Danny Boyle's 127 Hours. Now, Danny Boyle's been coming to the Toronto Festival for many years. I don't need to really introduce his work at all. He was here a couple of years ago, most famously with, of course, Slumdog Millionaire. The little film that came to Toronto was found here, won our audience award. You guys discovered it, and then of course it went on to, I don't need to tell you that story as well. It's amazing. Now, 2 years later he's back with a film very, very different, and it's one of the reasons why I actually love the film, that Danny is a true filmmaker and has taken on what I think is a true filmmaking challenge to do something very, very different than Slumdog Millionaire, although it's quite similar. It's a very emotional story. But it really is a one-hander. It's basically one actor, although there's a number of actors here. It's basically one actor in one location for most of the film. But you'll see that Danny, with that challenge, has done extraordinary things with this film. So we're absolutely delighted to have him here in his cast. He will be doing a Q&A afterwards. Please join me in welcoming Danny Boyle.
Before I bring out anybody, actually, I'd just like to remember Claude Chabrol, who died this weekend, and a wonderful filmmaker. And I was just reading about him, and he said, someone asked him, he said, we live in an age that when you call them, the pizza gets here quicker than the police, which I thought was a wonderful quote. Anyway, I just wanted to bring out a couple of guys, first of all, who were involved in the Slumdog shenanigans, and have also been involved in these shenanigans. And they are the producer, Christian Coulson, and the screenwriter, Simon Balfour. I'm not buttering you up so that you like the film, but we felt an enormous obligation to get this film ready for Telluride and then especially Toronto. Because the benefit you gave us was extraordinary. I mean, Toronto as a film festival makes a filmmaker feel 100 feet tall. I mean, it just does. It's a wonderful festival. The crowds are so warm. And I'm not just saying that because of the benefit we had with Slumdog, but also I had a film here, Millions, which didn't do very well, except at the Toronto Film Festival. Right, it was going to be the biggest hit in the world. Anyway, so thank you very much for that message. We did get enormous benefit from what you started off with Slumdog for us, and we used that to try and make this film, because it's a difficult film for studios and executives to get behind, because it's a challenging film, as Piers was saying. So I'd like to thank Fox Searchlight and Pathé and Tessa Ross for all doing that. And I'd most especially like to thank Francois Ivanal, who kept on at me about the book and the possible projects like that. So thank you very much to all those guys. Before we start, I'd like to introduce you to some of the real talent. The first one I'd like to introduce you to is the guy whose this story is based on. He's an extraordinary man who gave us the permission to make his story, and we promised to hand it back to him at the end. And as you'll see at the end of the film, that's what we tried to do. And he'll be up to talk to you later. Please welcome Aaron Ralston. He was on his own a lot in the canyon, and the film is known as a sort of one-man film. However, it is graced by 3 young women, which I'd like to introduce you to, whose don't appear to an enormous amount in the film, but they have an enormous impact on the film. And we were very blessed to be by their presence in the film. I'd first like to introduce you to Clemence Posey. Amber Tamblyn. And Kate Mara. They were our 3 graces through the film, and it was wonderful to have them, because most of the time we were working with this guy every day of every week. It was, and what a privilege it was, and please give him a big warm welcome, James Franco. That's it really. We will be back later on to do a Q&A, and there's no pizzas or police, just 90 minutes of 127 hours. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much.